What if you could slash your fuel bill by more than half? I mean, really think about that. A company called H2 Element is claiming they have the tech to do just that. So in this explainer, we're going to dive right into their claims and see how they say it all works.
65%. That's the number right at the heart of this whole thing. Imagine cutting your trips to the gas station by that much. It's a pretty wild figure, right? But what's the story behind it?
Yeah, this isn't some minor tweak we're talking about. This is the main event, the central claim of their entire product. A 65% cut in fuel use is a really bold statement. So, how on earth did they propose to pull that off?
Okay, so here's our game plan to get our heads around this. We're going to start with that big promise, then we'll look at the problem they say they're solving, and then we'll get into the science. After that, we'll check out all the other benefits they claim and, of course, the practical stuff like actually getting this thing installed.
So what exactly is H2 Element promising? Well, turns out it's actually more than just saving money on fuel. They're making some pretty big claims about performance and your car's environmental impact, too.
And this slide really lays out the three pillars of their pitch. First, you've got that headline fuel saving of up to 65%. Then, a claimed power boost of up to 30%. And finally, a huge cut in harmful emissions. They're saying up to 100%. So the key takeaway here is they aren't just selling you economy. They're selling you a package deal of economy, performance, and green benefits.
But you might be wondering, why would you even need a device like this? Well, according to H2 Element, the answer is a fundamental flaw in pretty much every modern engine. Let's take a closer look at the problem they're going after.
50%. Now this is the number H2 Element uses to really hammer home just how inefficient our engines are.
So, according to them, a staggering 50% of the fuel you pay for is just wasted. It's unburnt fuel that's literally getting shot out of your exhaust pipe, taking your money and your car's potential power right along with it.
And this visual does a great job of showing the before and after scenario they're describing. Over on the left, you've got standard combustion, with a ton of that fuel going to waste. Then on the right, with their system installed, the claim is that a special gas makes the fuel burn almost completely, unlocking a lot more of its energy.
Okay, so we've got the problem and the promise. Now let's get into the science of how this little device is actually supposed to work its magic.
The secret sauce here is something called HNO gas. You can basically think of it as a super booster for your fuel. It's a mix of hydrogen and oxygen that's made from water, right there, on the fly. And the key thing is, it's never stored, so you don't have some big, potentially dangerous tank in your car.
So here's the breakdown of how it works in 4 steps, according to the company. First, the device makes the gas. Simple enough. Then it feeds that gas into your engine. That gas then acts as a catalyst, making your regular fuel burn way faster and more completely. The end result, they claim, is a much more powerful and efficient combustion.
So, right, better combustion means better fuel economy. That makes sense, but that's not all. H2 Element says there's a whole list of other benefits for your engine.
They're talking about your engine running smoother and quieter with more power and torque. They also say it'll help keep your engine clean on the inside and run cooler by reducing all that carbon gunk. And here's a big selling point. It's supposedly compatible with pretty much any engine on the road today.
Of course, anytime you talk about putting hydrogen into a car, safety is going to be a huge concern, and H2 Element addresses this head-on. They really emphasize that the gas is only produced when you need it. There's no storage tank, which they say makes the whole system inherently safe.
Okay, so let's say you're interested. What's it actually going to take to get one of these in your car? We're about to get into the practical side of things: installation, cost, and that all-important question, is this even legal?
And that is a key question for any car owner, right? The very last thing you want is to improve your fuel economy only to find yourself in some kind of regulatory trouble.
Well, according to H2 Element, the answer is absolutely legal. Their argument is that because it's just an add-on device and not a fundamental change to the engine's original design, you don't need to register it or anything.
And the practical side of things seems pretty straightforward. They claim installation is quick, maintenance is super simple, basically just topping it up with water, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. They even say the device itself is built to last for up to a decade.
Now, this is really important to keep in mind. That 65% number is the absolute best-case scenario. The company's own material says that actual savings could be as low as 25%. It all depends on your engine's condition, the fuel you use, and even how you drive. So your mileage will literally vary.
So there you have it, the claims, the science, and the practical details of the H2 Element system.
It's a really compelling pitch, but it does leave you with a big question. With fuel prices going through the roof, is this a real path to better efficiency, or is it all just hot air? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.